My name is Stefan Marsh. I'm the inventor of the air ring technology and the president of the company. Popular understanding of obstructive sleep apnea is that the soft tissue in your throat sort of collapses. It typically does that sort of at the end of your breath. And so continuous positive airway pressure blows enough air into your nose or your mouth and into your body to supply all of the air that you need in an inhalation, plus a little bit more, so it actually builds up a little pressure. And it's that pressure that sort of keeps the soft tissue apart. Traditional CPAP machines put a big mask on your face and with a rubber seal around it and strap it on really tight and are blowing air constantly at you. It has a tendency to dry people's sinuses out. They cannot tolerate it. When I first talk to people about the air ring device, and I say, well, you know, we have these little micro pumps, and it turns out that they're very powerful, and they can pump the right amount of air at the right amount of pressure to treat sleep apnea. And people just kind of, what? You can't do that. And I go, well, yes, I think we can, because how it works is these little micro blowers are basically like a bellows. You know, like you fan the fire in your fireplace. Technically, it's called a displacement pump, but basically we use electrostatic charge. Maybe in school you might remember they showed you magnets, you know, the North Pole gets attracted to the South Pole, and like poles repel. Same way with charges. Like charges repel, opposite charges attract. So if you have two bellows or two plates, there's a space between them, and when they're attracted together, they displace the air between them. And when they're pulled apart or repelled from each other, they suck air in. And because they're so small, that's not much air. But if you put another one next to it and another one next to that, that's called parallel. If you put a lot of these in parallel, then you can start to suck a reasonable amount of air into them and blow a reasonable amount of air out of them. So thousands of times a second, these little pumps are pumping air. So massively parallel and many, many times a second gets you the right amount of flow rate. So when the microblowers are on, when they want to provide air for your breathing, the air from the room is sucked into the microblower, out the other side, and up through the nose. The most important things for that, the nose buds as I call them, is that it has to be easy to insert, it has to form a seal so that you can build the pressure that you need for the treatment, and it has to stay in place while you move around at night. It had to be very, very pliable. It had to have just enough material to form a seal, but not too much material that you feel like you're really full of something. And so it took us a while to sort of figure out the shape, the design, but the molded silicon rubber is extremely pliable. And it's actually very comfortable. And when you touch it, it's a nice material that scientists and medical products have found over time your body is fine with. Since everybody's nose is different, they will come in different sizes, but everybody that we've tested it with has found it extremely comfortable. And so the testing that we've done has proven to us that you can go to sleep with it, you do fall asleep, and you stay asleep, and when you wake up, it's still in your nose. So it was a challenge, but you know, we figured it out, and that's a very important part of this device. One of the experts that I took this to is an expert in microfabrication and materials and physics at MIT. And, you know, he asked the hard questions, looked at our math. Is this a good design? Is this likely to work? He did. He looked at it and gave me the thumbs up and said, go build it. With any good idea, you have to actually build a prototype to demonstrate that these little microblowers can blow the right amount of air at the right pressure. It's important to get the air ring into other people's hands as quickly as possible. And the fastest way that I know how to do that is to raise sufficient amount of money to be able to hire the right number of people, to do the right amount of testing, to get this into a final form so we can manufacture it, produce it, and get it out there. If you can take this simple technology, this low-cost technology, this comfortable, small technology, and put it in an application like this that can actually treat this sleeping disorder, this condition, how could you not do that? I mean, that's what technology is for. You've got to go do something that's important. And I can't think of anything more important for these blowers to do than to save somebody's life.